Hi, I'm Maree from Keys to Fine Food. Thank you so much for letting me be in your kitchen. So today what we're going to cook is Moroccan chicken with chickpeas. What you need to make this Moroccan chicken and chickpea dish from your pantry are olive oil, onions, garlic, salt and pepper and a vegetable stock. I personally like the Marcel vegetable stock, but use whatever you like. Plus your spice mix pack. And then you need to go out and purchase a tin of chickpeas and have them washed thoroughly and a kilo of chicken thighs. So pop your oven on to 150 to 160 depending how hot your own oven is, and let's start prepping for the dish. So we need to cut up one onion. It doesn't matter if it's red or brown, but red's just a little sweeter and it's what I had. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just thin enough and small enough. This is how I cut an onion anyway. Just so that that doesn't take forever to cook. So that's what you're looking at, something about that size. Okay, so your garlic, just take the end. Try and invest in some really nice garlic, it does make a difference. Just crush it down. Take the skin off. Now you can do two things. So you can use a garlic press if you want to. Just pop the garlic in there and squeeze it out. But personally, for me, that's just another thing to wash up. So I just like to take the tail end off of both of them, give it a good squash, the hardest part of your knife, the strongest part, and it gives it a really good smash up. And then I just really finely, just don't cut your fingers, chop it up like that. Done. Rustic enough for me. So the next thing we're prepping is the chicken thighs. Use chicken thighs if you can, because it is a cheaper part of the meat and it also has that little bit of fat which gives you that extra boost of flavour. So I'm just going to show you how to quickly trim up a chicken thigh. Just grab a chicken thigh. You'll see that there's always a piece of fat here and a piece of fat over here. You can see that that's the part that wraps around the leg. Okay, just have a sharp knife. Trim that fat off, spin it around, trim that other piece of fat off, cut it down the centre there, well not quite the centre where that piece naturally falls, cut that in half and cut that in half. You might think, okay, that's a bit big, you want it sort of all the same size, cut that again, depending. Depending also how much time you've got to cook. If you've got very limited time in cooking, you could even cut that up again and it'd be cooking a lot quicker. So we put in 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of oil. Get the temperature up on that. Throw in our onion and garlic. Give it a bit of a stir. Just get it all covered in that oil. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we're just going to keep stirring that around, probably because I'm a bit, well, I'm always in a rush. So I've got it on a fairly high heat, but because it's such a heavy base saucepan, you can sort of get away with it. Now the other thing is, if you wanted to put this into a slow cooker, you can do that, but just make the chicken pieces as large as you can if you're going to leave it for quite a long time. Okay, so 3 minutes is up and that's looking pretty good to me. You could leave it maybe, another 30 seconds, but can you be bothered, really? So what we're going to do is we're just going to put this spice mix in. Chuck it in. And just really make sure your heat's down low now, really low, because you don't want to burn these spices. Out of everything else that can be rustic and whatever, do not burn these spices. Oh my gosh, okay. There's a little symphony going on in my nose right now. This is gorgeous. So just keep stirring that around. And that's 1 to 2 minutes. Once that hits your nose and you can really just smell that, that's really its release. That's enough. So then from there, you need to put in your chicken pieces. See, and there's still a little bit of fat on these. That's okay. That's fine. Throw that in. It's about 1 kilo. And look, if you shop at these big supermarket places, they pack them in 600, 500 gram packs. Keys to Fine Food spice mixes usually, well, no, not usually, they do. They cater for 1 to 1.5 at the most, but about 1.2. So always go that bit extra, because if you're cooking it now, it's going to save you a meal next week. So turn that heat up. I should have done that. Cover that chicken as much as you can with those spices. Just sort of really pumps the flavour into them. Gives it that sort of gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Okay, so that's that done. I say about 3 minutes, but that's just because I'm trying to be generous. But seriously, while that's just heating up and cooking through, let's get the vegetable stock. So what I've got here is 2 tablespoons of chicken vegetable stock. Yes, you're meant to dissolve it in water, but I really don't care. And now what you've got to do is you just get enough water. Now I've got 2 cups there, but you get enough water to sort of cover it. So that's 1 cup in. And as far as I'm concerned, that really, for this wider pot, is enough. Now if you like a juicier sort of thing, you could add more. My husband doesn't really like a lot of liquidy sort of things, so I might just, but you know, if you had 1.5 kilos of chicken, you'd have to have a bit more. So it's just, so what have I used? 1.5 cups of water probably. Okay, so I'm going to bring that up and make sure I got all those little yummy bits off the bottom of my dish. Okay, so next thing we do is we put the lid on, turn that off and pop it in the oven. That's it. So now that we have that in the oven, 30 minutes is going to go by, and you can put whatever vegetables you like. But for Moroccan, true Moroccan flavours, I like to put eggplant in it. So eggplant with the chickpeas, which will go in the next 30 minutes. Okay, so we're at the 30 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're just, yum. Okay, so what we're going to do is add the chickpeas, and for me, the eggplant. Now I've cut that eggplant in half. It's just, I love the flavour of it. And as I mix that through, I'm thinking, that eggplant's going to melt down, but it's also going to suck up a lot of those juices. So, whoops, get that on the big jobs. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a little bit more water. Just add to that. That's better. So you can sort of see it's just got that liquidy still in there, and that's just going to all soften, and just mix that through. Now, before you pop it back in the oven, what you need to do is just grab a spoon, grab some of those juices, maybe, yeah, and just taste. Oh. See, that doesn't need, the stock's given it enough salt. There's enough of the peppers from the paprika. That's perfectly balanced for me personally. But if you want to add a sprinkle of salt and pepper, do so. But for me, that doesn't need a thing. All right, let's pop that back in the oven. For about another 5 to 10 minutes. And in that time, what you need to do is either get your rice ready or your couscous, whatever you prefer, or you could have done that previously. It's up to you when you want to do it. You might even have some leftover rice, but get everything ready now because we're coming to the end of our meal. Okay, so now that we're finished, you can serve it two ways. You can serve it as an individual portion with some basmati rice or couscous or whatever you're happy to do. I've just done rice today. Or you can serve it as a whole and people can just help themselves. So it smells absolutely amazing. So here I'm just going to put it as a whole. So I like to leave the star anise, the cinnamon sticks, all that in there. That's what keeps it quite authentic, I think. Bay leaves. Then it makes out that you really did cook it yourself. Okay. And what I love about this freezes really, really well. Okay. So I might just put some juices, which is fabulous, over the top to make sure that goes through to the rice. Why not add a bit more? Okay. Now for a lot of Moroccan cooking, you can add some prunes, some dates and that sort of thing to your cooking as well. Sprinkle it with just maybe a little bit of parsley for colour. And there you have it. Serve with a few lemons. And there you have my Moroccan chicken and chickpea. So now that we've finished the Moroccan chicken and chickpeas, we can serve it two ways. You can serve it as a banquet style or you can serve it as an individual style. And often with this I do a medley of vegetables together on the side as well to add to it. Okay, so we've finished the Moroccan chicken and chickpea. So you can serve it two ways, as a banquet style, as I've got here, or you can serve it on a plate individually. So just put some nice big pieces of chicken on there. And I like to, whoopsie, not exactly my best thing, but I like to just keep the star anise, cinnamon sticks and all that sort of stuff in it as well. And I really hope you enjoy my Moroccan chicken and chickpea curry. If you'd like more recipes of mine, you can go to YouTube and look up the yellow chicken curry or the Indian curry. Hope to see you soon in your kitchen.